From Fairway Sports World in Natick, our champions Ed Czernicki from Webster and John Czernicki from Webster take on Dan Gallant from Franklin, Massachusetts, and Bill Hart from Pepperell, Mass. That's easy for me to say. This is Candlepin Doubles. Say that 3 times fast. Pepperell. Welcome to Candlepin Doubles. I'm Ed Harding, and thank you for letting us be a part of your afternoon. You know, Bill Hart is from Pepperell. Bill, where do you, and the reason why I'm asking is he does something that's very dear to my heart. Where are you with Seafood Deli? Star Market? When I was in college, the one over the turnpike in Newton, I was a Seafood Deli clerk. I like that, a fellow butcher. Here, get over here. I have to shake hands with a fellow butcher because, you know, we got to stick together. Once a butcher, always a butcher, right? That's what hey, listen. If you were watching the Candlepin show just before us, Don Gillis' show, wasn't that a great run by Paul Berger at 500? That was terrific. The highest, what's on, in the 34 years of the show, the highest in 34 years of the show. And interestingly enough, Ed Czernicki still has the high single, right? 197 on that? So Ed's here. Paul Berger's already done the 500. See what you guys got in front of you? See what a show you've got to follow? Dan goes, hey, no problem. All right, guys, it's all yours. No problem. The Czernickis are wearing the dark red shirts. Dan Gallant and his partner Bill Hart in the light blue. First ball, first box, and we're underway. It's the cumulative score at the end of 2 strings of bowling that decides who our champion is today. For 3 weeks in a row, it's been the Czernickis. Couple of 9s get us going. John Czernicki has an average of 120 with a high single of 211 and a high triple of 454. Got 'em all! Very rhythmic, methodic, patterned approach by the Czernickis. Been successful. Dan Gallant has an average of 127, high single of 199, a high triple of 503. And that's the shot he has in front of him. Both bowlers mark in the second box. These 2 guys will bowl the first 5 boxes of each string and hand it off to their partners who will finish it out. If there's a tie at the end of the 2 strings, each man will throw a box. The first of 2 bonus balls from John Czernicki. He can easily fill that strike with 10. Here's the bonus ball for Dan. Goes flush right through it and fills it with 3 lonely pins. John only fills that strike with 9. Chance to remind you that next week, because of the Indy time trials, there will be no double show. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the first of our 3 NBA state finals. Men's doubles will lead us off on that event. We'll be coming to you from Haverhill. So we move into summer. A 9 in box 3 for Dan Gallant and a 10 in box 3 for John Czernicki. We move to the 4th box. 7-pin lead for our champions. Dan was at one time the WCBC Pro Bowler of the Year. By the way, pins are still falling for John Czernicki. He has that delay pitch that goes in and 2 or 3 minutes later pins fall. There's Wood in front. Czernicki can mark it. Oh, strangely enough, he gets to 7. That would have been the one I thought would have stayed, but it didn't. An 8 and a 10 in the 4th box. Gallant and Czernicki. We move to the 5th box. 9-pin lead for our champions. Ed Czernicki and Bill Hart are waiting to bowl, and they will do so. But first, these two guys will finish up the 5th box. Second mark of the afternoon for John. Second mark of the afternoon for Dan. So each man leaves his partner a bonus ball as we will move to the second 5 boxes of the first string. But first, out in the first string, Ed Czernicki and Bill Hart. Here's Ed. There's Ed. Both men are filling. Bill Hart does a little better job. He fills with 8. And he marks for the second straight box. Three straight marks will earn you $50. 3 consecutive strikes will earn you $1,000. Czernicki's fill was only 3. And the lead through boxes scored is only 4. But an actual pinfall is even tighter. Nice fill. Tough lead, but nice fill. The fill is 8. And the Hart Gallant team have taken the lead. I've always been confused with that. Is that the Hart Gallant team have taken the lead or has taken the lead? Thank you. I asked Al Giglio, as a member of the school committee of Methuen. You know, I figured a school committee guy could tell me the proper English. But in the true sense of the politician, he said yes. 6-pin lead for the challengers, Gallant and Hart. The Czernickis, if you've been scoring with us the last few weeks at home, have not trailed at this point in either of their matches. They've gotten off to a lead and held on to it. I'll tell you what, there's a swing with 2 balls, a strike from Bill Hart, and Ed Czernicki could have, should have, maybe picked it up, but didn't. So he puts up a 10 in the 8th box instead of a mark with a bonus ball. So in 2 of the 3 boxes that Bill Hart has bowled, he's been able to mark in it. And it's been a string of 8, 10, 10 for Ed Czernicki. The lead, which had reached 9 pins, has fallen off through boxes scored to 6 pins. Here's the fill. The fill is 7. First. Remember, he's got a second bonus ball. Very probable he can fill with 10. It's been a very steady 5 boxes here for Bill Hart. He hasn't bowled all 5 yet, but he's marked and filled with 8. Dropped 10 in the 7th. Strike and filled with 10 in the 8th. And marked in the 9th. And he's turned it into a 16-pin lead. It's going to be tough for 3 consecutive marks, but the fill is 6. There's a mark for Ed Czernicki, and there'll be an extra ball, which is precisely what he needs. Good effort, I'll tell you what. Bill got all 3 and almost had enough movement in it to get out the 4th one that was standing. Best he could do in the box is 10. That's what he does. Very strong finish from the Gallant Hart team and a 131 pinfall. And the fill is going to be, will not be 7, it will be 6 for Ed Czernicki. Well, the fill is 6, and the lead is 17 pins for Dan Gallant and Bill Hart. The Czernickis face a deficit as we move to the 2nd string. So it's 17 pins, nonetheless it's a deficit. We have that string for you, but first we have this. 2nd string here on doubles, and Bill Hart has handed a 17-pin lead over to his partner Dan Gallant. First ball, 2nd string. And John Czernicki has the task of starting to dig out of the hole. A lot of oohs and ahs in those last 2 throws. So, wasn't same ball, same spot. It was about 3 inches to the left. Well, how do you figure that? A disappointing 9 and even a more disappointing 5 with a 21-pin lead. 2nd box, 2nd string. Cumulative score at the end of 2 strings of bowling decides who our champion is. Right now, on the strength of what Bill Hart has done at the end of the 1st string, the pressure's on the Czernickis. And that's what you get. So there you have it. John Czernicki with a strike in the 2nd box. Dan Gallant with a 9 in the 2nd box. A 10 in the 2nd box and a 19 total pinfall in the 2nd string. Fall is 7 and it's a decent leave. It's the first of the 2 bonus balls. Wavering. Will it go? No. John can fill with 10. That's how you do it. You fill with 10, and you mark in the next box, and you're only 11 pins back. Good fall here will drop that deficit down to single digits. There's the bonus ball. Cuts it down by 8. Well, let's just tighten it up just a little more. 3-pin lead. Through boxes scored. Danny Gallant with a mark of his own. John Czernicki can mark as well. 3 consecutive marks for the Czernickis. There's bonus money. The difference is 3 pins. The challengers have 3 more. Each man is throwing a bonus ball, so the difference in the gap will be affected right here. The fall for Dan. Good fall. It's 8. It's 9. The fall is 9. The fall for... How do you do? The 4 goes 1 better. There's 4 consecutive marks for the Czernickis.